If you clicked on this video to see someone mess around with an overly confusing mod pack with Terminator rats in it, this is the video for you. As I am writing this, there are currently no other 100 day series using this mod pack that I will be using for this video. My idea was to survive 100 days underwater, and this mod pack, Rustic Waters, was perfect for that, or so I thought. I mean, I suppose the blame is on me for not researching everything in the pack first, but wow, there's a lot of confusing stuff and things that straight up just don't work. Take seeds for example. Good luck having a farm on this mod pack, as it straight up will not let you. Despite that, it was a fun and interesting mod pack that created one hell of a narrative for this week's 100 days. Hello everybody, I am Mikey, and today our Minecraft challenge is a YouTube first as we try to survive 100 days in hardcore Rustic Waters. In these 100 days, my aim was to find the end and slay the Ender Dragon, which honestly, I have never done before. So enjoy this video, and top tip for you all watching, if you want to play a tricky mod pack, I'd probably research it first. So day one was pretty simple. We said hello to Chili Willy, pushed through our first set of quests, and then ran out of saplings so had to make some. So after a great start, it was time for bed. Days 2 to 5 were painful, but something good came out of it. I decided that waiting for wood was taking too long and I couldn't get the bonsai trees to work, so I ventured out to see what was beyond my cube. I came across a sunken ship which had a skeleton spawner inside. After a short battle, I came out victorious with a pirate chest which I could not figure out how to unlock. So I made my way back home where I crafted a hearthstone and figured out my wood problem, kind of. It was finally between day 6 and 7 that I acknowledged my errors around the bonsai tree, noticing the words hopping in front of it. I placed it on top of my crafting table and bam, just like that, it was working and I was getting wood and string from the spider string tree. I also got a chest in the quest lines which gave me a rat water bottle, which I didn't realise at the time, but will become my favourite part of this entire mod pack. Days 8 to 11 were literally the most boring days known to man. I sat around the whole time looking in my inventory and at different things in the mod pack whilst waiting for wood. But during this time, Chili Willy escaped and I lost him forever. Between days 12 and 14, I finally was able to make the fabric mesh for one of the quests and quickly figured out how to make the creosote oil. This gave me a reinforced tin bow. Then I carried on with some more tedious quests to get more rewards. Day 15, I decided to dive into the depths of the ocean with a water breathing potion I got from one of the quests. I wasn't really sure how this would go and if mining was a big part of this mod pack, but I literally found diamonds straight away. Although I didn't have any iron yet, so I couldn't even mine it. I really wish I had placed a marker down for where I left the diamonds though. When I got back, I replaced the dirt in the bonsai planters with coral to speed them up and noticed one of the other trees had grown in the dome. Day 20, I received a cow in a jar which, when paired with a cauldron, allowed me to start making cheese. So then the cheese production began. One of the most hair-pulling days, day 21, I tried about 100 different ways to test out the strainers, and none of them worked. I nearly made this entire episode on I spent 100 days trying to work a strainer. After the nightmare of day 21, day 22 I saw a sluice box? I probably said that wrong, but they look cool and I wanted to learn how to use them, so I spent the rest of the day researching the use of the strainer and the sluice box. After the research, I came back on day 23 and between then and day 24 I fixed the strainer which started working and made the sluice box and I sorted the chests out. Days 25 to 29 I spent getting a lot of cheese and turds to make smelly cheese for the rats. I had no idea what these rats did, but I wanted them anyway. I got one pretty quick and when I placed it down it ran around my dome before diving out the keyhole on the side. I tried a few more times and each one ran off. More mining days from day 30 to day 31 as I went out to try and find the diamonds I had previously found now that I had the tools to take it on. However, I could not remember where it was. plus not having a water breathing potion made it much harder and so much more tense, so I decided to wait until I could hold my breath just a little bit longer. On days 32 and 33, I decided to give the rats another shot after they refused my love the first time. I tried feeding them and using the staff and it just wasn't working, until I tried throwing the cheese on the floor and they went mad for it, and it was then I made 2 friends, April and Splinter. I let them roam in their cage for now, as the base didn't feel a safe place for them to roam free. Between days 34 and 39, I noticed my mineral supply was getting low, so I went back down to the ocean to mine as much as I could, and guess what? I still couldn't find where I previously found the diamonds. Day 40 and I finally found the diamonds from before, and I'm so glad I kept looking as there were so many diamonds in that one vein. But as I began to leave the cave for home, it turned nighttime. I could not see the way home, so I waited out the night in the mines. Days 41 to 45 were days to celebrate. I made it back to my dome and was so unhappy with how cluttered it was that I decided to work on quests, making items and parts that I would just never use. However, after completing the first lot of quests, I finally got my first key to unlock the next section of my base. There was so much more room for activities now. Now comes my base makeover. Between days 46 and 54, I spent many hours making strainers, chests, a large rat pen, and separating my new sections into layers. I was happy with my base until I saw how much more cluttered it looked with all the log supports now, but it was still an improvement for what it was before, so now I know where everything is. Day 55 and I learned that I could make a rat chef. Yes, I can literally make ratatouille and he will cook for me, no coal or anything. I threw him some fish, and he lived up to his name. He cooked it damn well. Between days 55 and 56, whilst Rat Chef was cooking up a storm, he wanted me to tell you all, if you want to see more of these challenges, to subscribe to this channel, and if you're enjoying it so far, don't forget to leave a like. Anyway, back to it. With the dome now much easier to get around, having sorted through everything, I decided on day 56 to start working through as many challenges as I could, just to see what rewards I could get. And on day 60, I was given lots of keys and lockpicks to try and unlock the chests I found between days 2 and 5. None of them worked. They all broke. Day 61 was the beginning of the end. I carried on looking through keys and created one from diamonds and emeralds. I had no idea what I was going to get out of these 2 chests, but I can honestly say I was not expecting this level of loot. I got half a set of enchanted diamond armor from the chests, an enchanted diamond sword, and plenty of potions to help my fight against the Ender Dragon. Now I felt ready. Days 62 to 64 I spent preparing for my fight with the Ender Dragon. Yes, so soon. Me and Rat Chef cooked up all the fish, suited up and made golden apples, until I realised I had to swim out and find the end portal. Days 65 to 70 were spent setting up my tools for swimming. All I needed now was an oxygen tank and mask, but to make both of these I needed sap, and to get sap I needed power. Now became the days of 71 to 77, which were spent crushing, building and smelting everything I needed for these machines. Days 78 to 84 were spent putting together machines to try and hook them up to things. I first made a windmill which appeared not to work, which I expected, but you can never tell in Minecraft. So I then created a strange contraption using a piston and redstone repeaters to create kinetic energy, and hey presto, it worked. However, it was not draining any sap from the tree still. I had one final idea. I placed a log next to the machine instead of on top, and there it was. Sap. Yes, I know, I didn't need power now, thank you, keep it to yourselves. But then I crafted the oxygen mask and tank, and it was time. Day 85 I set off from the dome, and between then and day 89 I swam around finding new treasures such as a mod for my rats to turn them into Terminator. As soon as I found this, I knew I had to swim back. Days 90s and 93 were spent getting back home and bringing Chef Rat with me. Good thing we had an underwater breathing mod for my rat too, so he wouldn't die on me whilst looking for the portal. We double checked we had everything and slept as we were ready. Day 94 we set off again in search for the portal, and on day 97 we found an underwater village. Inside was horrible. There was creepers, skeletons, zombies. It looked like a pretty bad place to live, and I didn't intend on being there too long. It was day 98 and I spotted a tower behind the glass of the village, so me and Chef Rat went to inspect. I swapped out his underwater breathing for his new Terminator mod, and we went inside the tower, working our way up as Chef was lasering everything in his sight. I'm pretty impressed with his rat powers, and then we got to the top. Day 99 began with a gulp and a jump as we entered what could have been our final resting place. I arrived into the end. Yeah, me. Only me. Chef Rat was nowhere to be seen, and I had to face this dragon alone. I made my way to the center where I started firing arrows to blow up the top of his towers, which succeeded for a short while. He kept diving in after me, trying to stop me, but I wasn't giving up yet. His strategy of anger in the Endermen was working too, as they turned around to attack me, and I for sure thought I was surrounded. I dug out everything I could and built up and away from them to the top of one of the dragon's cage towers. I broke through and destroyed the center, which nearly wiped me out. Seeing this, the dragon came straight for me and threw me off the top. I somehow survived the fall, and finally, as the 99th day was ending, I destroyed the last of the dragon's towers. There is no sun in the end, only darkness, and as the 100th day dawned on me, all that was left to do was fight the dragon head on. I fired my arrows and he retaliated with his dragon breath over and over again. He hovered in the middle for a time, and I would take this opportunity to swing my sword at him as his health dwindled. This day, even Legolas would have been proud, as my arrows were not missing their mark, and this dragon soon had nowhere to turn. I jumped up one last time to shoot my final arrow, and the dragon exploded into a ball of light as it fell to the center and left only a dragon egg. It was then that I vowed to never, ever do anything underwater again, and this challenge had been completed. This challenge was a wild one, and if you have any more ideas for challenges that I could try out on this channel, drop them below in the comments section and I will try to get around to every single one. And whilst you're down there, hit that subscribe button to see more videos like this where I'll be trying a new challenge in Minecraft every single week. Finally, tap that like button to let me know you enjoyed this video, and I will catch you in the next one.